I just forgot to turn on the recording. This is not the first time that I've done this, so I'm just going to kind of pick up from here. So the what I wanted to communicate to you is that finding something to do from home is often been challenging. The Ticket to Work program has not been successful. The one thing that I have learned from working with other members is that there's a lot of people that really have a genuine interest in supplementing their income, starting on a passive basis and doing something that they are certain that they are not going to lose their benefits. So the referral partner program is really just that. It's something that you can start. I have a super part-time and a part-time example that I'm going to show you here today. But the reason why we have done this is we built Disability Digest from the ground up using traditional paid advertising. So if you were to go to Google or Facebook or Yahoo, you'd see like there's ads for the Disability Digest out there. And it's always really kind of gnawed at me when I paid that bill every month, because I've always felt in the back of my mind that there was a way that we could rechannel the money back into our members and provide opportunities for you. And we have attempted to do this and have had some degree of success in earlier years in the business, but not until really recently have we had some, significant traction in doing this. So the thing that excites me about this is in the disability world, the money has mostly flowed to insurance companies by way of Medicare, and to disability representatives, mostly attorneys, by through the disability approval process. And what we're doing here is making a really concentrated effort to tip the balance of power and put the opportunity back on the side of our members. And what I really mean by that is if we can control the attraction of members and educate them as on the right products and services to help them maximize their disability income, and also monetize it so that you can get paid. That's something that hasn't been done before, and that I really am committed to making work as well. As you'll see that there's some other individuals that have been working on this. So this is not something that's perfected. I want to put this big red warning up there for everybody. It's not polished. It's not something that's streamlined and been around for years. And I'm speaking specifically to the Referral Partner Program. The Disability Digest has been around for 2006. And so work is required. And one of the things with this orientation that I want people to understand is that if you want to come in and apply yourself and invest the time, create a plan, and work your plan, there's a great opportunity here. I do feel with people that go about working and try to do something on their own, there's a false sense of success, if you will, that just by signing up there is some degree of entitlement. And I just want to really set the record straight that if you came to this orientation and that kind of is a mindset that you may have, this is not for you. It's not going to work. And so we want to do what we can to really clearly help you understand that this is a work program. You have to invest some time so that you don't get started, burn a bunch of time, and have your expectations, not met. And as well, the same for us. So that's what we're in. That's what we're going to communicate here today. So, as a referral partner, there's a lot of tools to help you make this work. You get an online account that you can log into, and you'll get different websites to help promote products and services that we have. And again, you get credit for the activity that the members that you bring into the Disability Digest and what they do. The thing that makes us even easier for you is the fact that we've already attracted thousands of members. You get access to the same marketing messages that we have used that are proven. So you just need to get those marketing messages in front of the potential members for the Disability Digest. And that's where your job is. That's really as simplistic as I can make it. And you're supported in this. There's a lot of other programs out there that maybe you've looked at where you get involved and then you're out there on your own. We meet every Monday here at 11:30, and so you have that opportunity. You also have a Facebook group that's active where you can go in, off meetings and post notes and comments and get feedback from others. And then you also have a support staff that's at this opportunity at the Disability Digest email address is the address that you've been communicating with Susanna on this. So there is one important note I want to make is that you even have a lost password service. And I bring this up and it sound like it's totally out of flow, but the number one problem that we have in our support desk is people lose their passwords. So if you lose your password, there is a find password feature. It's on this site that's going to load up right here. Okay, so you may not think this is important, but actually it's going to be, this question will be asked to you later. So just remember how you can get your password. Okay. So this is kind of what your referral partner, well, not kind of, this is what your referral partner account looks like. And you log in, you have different links that you can get to. You have templates like marketing messages that you can work with. You also have commission tracking tools, so you can see like real time what your commissions are for the month and what you're going to be due for a check. So that's all built in and ready for you. And let's talk about commissions. Maybe I missed a slide. Let me see here. Oh, these are the different links that you have. So with the Disability Digest, and we also run the Fibromyalgia Digest, there are different types of audiences out there. Like there'd be a general disability audience that maybe you are presenting or marketing to that could have people that are already on disability as well as those that are going through the disability approval process. So you'll learn how to use which website marketing link for the different audiences that are there. So these are the different ones that you have access to, as well as introducing other referral partners. So the commission breakdown, the number one way that most people make money and get started really fast is by putting people into the Disability Digest that go through our disability approval process. That's number one. We'll talk more about that in a minute. The other one is if we work on their disability case, like when I say we, the Disability Digest has a team of disability representatives. If we specifically work on that case and get it awarded, then we share part of that representation fee that we generate. So that's the second way. The third is, as a referral partner, you have the ability to introduce other referral partners. You can work with them and teach them to become successful. In addition to that, you get paid an override. And if you are a successful referral partner and want to work with us and train and teach other referral partners, we have a steady flow of new referral partners that come in here, and we would assign them to you so that you could help them out. They'd have a personal liaison, and so you'd also, receive overrides on that, just like you brought them in yourself. We have a referral partner profit pool where we take a percentage of the monies that are generated on a rolling quarter, and we put them into a pool, and based on your check amount for that quarter, you receive a percentage of it. This is all spelled out in the terms and conditions, so I'm not going to hammer out all the details here today. Even if you bring in and introduce us to a disability representative that we work with that may help members that are going through the disability approval process may represent them in areas where we as a company don't. If you introduce us to them, we would pay you commissions on that. So that's the high level concept of where you will earn your commissions. But let's talk specifically about the disability approval strategy, which is really the focal point of our business for the referral partners. And we've helped over 11,000 people get approved for their disability benefits since we started, and that's accounts for over $14 million flowing into our members' accounts, and maybe you're one of those that we helped get approved. But I think about that number sometimes. Sometimes it's hard for me to get my head around it. But so it's worked great. So the strategy that we use to help people get their disability benefits approved is simply this: once somebody registers for their free membership, if they're going through the disability approval process, then they are directed to a Social Security disability mini course that they have access to. It's got 9 lessons that take them through the approval process. It shows them how to start their case, how to advance their case if they've already been denied and get approved. And many people have used this just on their own and not paid a representative to get their benefits approved. So that's the first resource that we provide them. The second one is they speak to one of our advocates, who is somebody that works here at the Disability Digest. These are positions that we have available. And the advocate walks them through our strategy, which is to go through this mini course that we've provided them. And we also advocate that they interview with a Social Security disability representative that we would introduce them to. And the reason for the interview with a representative is if the representative speaks to them in a phone interview and accepts their case, at least the member knows that they've got a shot at getting approved, because representatives only take cases they feel they can win because they get paid on performance by collecting a percentage of the back benefits. So it's a great value to our member to know that at least they got a shot at it. And they might also learn that they don't have a shot at it. The representative might say, well, listen, I'm sorry, I can't help you. And it's not necessarily what they want to hear, but maybe there's some aspects of their case that can be improved, or maybe they just don't have a case at all. A few other reasons are oftentimes a representative can uncover additional evidence and to strengthen the case. And a lot of people want to know what it's like just to have everything taken care of and their opportunity to get their benefits maximized. So to conclude, our strategy that we have used for these 11,000 people that are up here is go through the mini course, interview with a representative, and then compare both options. And that's simply it. And so I jumped ahead a slide here, but when our advocate is speaking with a member about that and the member understands the value of it, then we schedule them for an interview with a representative. And once that interview is scheduled and they have access to the mini course, what we call that is completing the disability approval process. And when that process is completed and they've gone through and it's scheduled for an interview, then you as a referral partner earn a commission. $17 to $24 is commonly what is paid for that transaction. So just kind of recap that part. You bring in a member, they go through the approval process, and then a commission is triggered. Okay. So where do you find new members that might be candidates for this? It's maybe something that you're asking yourself. Well, there's all kinds of organizations out there where maybe you already belong to, condition-specific groups for ADD, fibromyalgia, MS, depression. Even some people are working with AA groups for people that are disabled and attending AA meetings. So online forums, chat rooms, Facebook, Craigslist has been used successfully, and a lot of people, there's a big opportunity to just do outreach in your local community, meet with doctors and rehab organizations that are working with people that could use our services. So relative to Facebook, which is one way that a lot of people are having some success right now. There's different people, there's groups, there's web pages, you can search public posts. There's all different ways that you can leverage the power of Facebook, right from your home, and find people that are ideal candidates for our services. So really, with the tools that we have and the internet and the marketing messages, it really makes it easy. It's like shooting fish in this bowl. I couldn't find a barrel, so I'm shooting fish in a bowl. It is easy. Not to say that it's not work, but it is something that you can do and you can learn if you apply yourself. Now, also keep into perspective that there's 54 million Americans that suffer from some form of a disability, and 2.7 million that apply each year for their Social Security disability benefits. So you'll have a consistent supply of people to speak to. And that 2.7 million has been consistent for, it's bumped up and down based on the economy for the last 10 years, but you'll have a consistent flow of people to speak to. So I want to give you kind of a income snapshot and also explain when you get paid. And I'll break this down for you. So I have up here, like at the top, this super part-time example. Whoops, let me go back here. Super part-time, $175 a month, $2,124 a year. So if you were to look at this down here where it says direct, these are people that you directly introduce to the Disability Digest. If there was 5 of those a month, and that accounted for $100 in income, and then you worked with 3 others that did the same thing, so you'd be getting paid on 15 overrides from the 3 others. So that'd be $175 a month, and that's $2,124 a year. So considering the average disability check is $1,100 a month, this, adding $2,000 in income and the tax advantages can help people out. So that's your super part-time. Part-time, if you were to look at and changing this direct from 5 to 10, and then for the overrides, teaching 3 people to do 10 instead of doing 5, then you would be at $4,200 a year. So those are a couple different examples of what's possible here and what's being done now. So for payments, referral partners get paid by the 15th of the month for the prior month's business, and that's for all the referral partners that have a balance of $100 or more. So if you get $100 or more in your account, whatever month that is, hopefully it's every month, then you get paid that month. And then the profit pool is paid out quarterly. So a few things to consider about your income and where you want to invest your time to work. I'd like you to understand, or help you understand, that your work here will make a difference. We have been successful at helping people get approved for their benefits faster. The general statistic is 3.3 years for people to get approved. And we'd like to think that we do much better than that. I commonly look at the statistics that we see from the other representatives that we use, and the feedback is in and around 18 months. It's very, very difficult to document everything, but it sure to heck beats the national average. And the reason why is, whether somebody does this on their own or whether they use a representative, we just want them to do it right. And if you do it right, you're going to get through in the least amount of time as possible. So with the work that you do here, you'll make a difference in somebody's life and preventing them from, going into that 3.3 years of approval process or maybe never getting their benefits. In addition to that, the more members that you introduce, the more sponsors that we can attract, which is more money for the Disability Digest, which is more money for you and more jobs, and more money in the referral partner pool. So your efforts make a difference in the bigger picture of what we're accomplishing here. So I want to talk about next steps, and I'm going to leave this slide up here for a few minutes afterwards, and then I want to answer any questions that you have, and then also hear from any of the referral partners that would like to speak up. But your next step, if this is something that you see that is really in line with, what you'd like to do, we're going to send you the replay, except for the first slide that I forgot to record, of this orientation. And the subject line of the email will be this, right up on the top here, referral partner orientation replay and next steps are here. So when you receive that, what we are looking for you to communicate back to us in writing is a simple 2-sentence or less answer about these 4 questions that we've put up on the screen and will also be in the email. So what we're looking for is we want to just make sure that you understand, like for example, number 1, your understanding of how you can generate new members and earn commissions, okay? And the hint is that that's covered on slide 10 and 11 that I went through. Where you go for support, how your efforts are supported here, covered on slide 5, hint. 3 is what you do if you lose your password. And 4, when you get paid. That's all. We want to get your understanding of that. And if you reply back to us with those answers and everything checks out, then we'll proceed to the next step. We'll get you involved. We'll set up your account. We welcome you to join us Mondays so that we can keep you in the loop, keep you educated, get your check flowing. So that concludes my part of the presentation. Kathy, Dawn, anything you'd like to add about your experience here?
Sure, Brian, it's Dawn here. What I would add is that in terms of my experience with the program, it's been a very reliable program, and the bottom line is that you make as much money with it as you put effort into it. So very directly proportional. Brian, I had another thing that came up. I wanted to run it by you and the group. I was discussing the referral partner program with a potential partner, and we had an email exchange, and what she did is she looked way ahead to where she was making so much money with the program that she got off disability. And then, in that imaginary scenario, she said that she would like to see if there was some kind of safety net in place so that if she wasn't able to continue with the program and she had to go back on disability and all that stuff, is all of that stuff in place? And I know that from listening in on some webinars for Ticket to Work, they do talk about being able to get back on disability. So, I know that there's a mechanism in place there. But, Brian, have you ever heard that come up before?
All the time.
All the time? Okay.
All the time. Well, not all the time, but it's common. I mean, it's certainly it's a big concern for individuals because it's so hard to get on these benefits. So, yeah, there's a lot of migration options off on, I would say, for those that are really want to get the nitty-gritty, is you can come into Section 2 in our members area which just go to the Disability Digest in the top right-hand corner, and then scroll down to section 2. But the short story is you can earn $790 a month, and that's net average over the course of a year and not have any impact on your benefits. So if you get above and beyond that, then there's other strategies that you can take advantage of. And what I always encourage people to do is start and make $1 first, right? And a lot of people get hung up on, well, God, if I'm making $2,000 a month, I'm going to be over my limit. Well, okay, there's lots of things you can do, and that's a good problem to have, but you're not there yet. So I guess, hopefully I answered your question. It's a great point.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great answer.
Yeah. Just one more thing. There's this whole thing called trial work periods, which is in lesson 4. And if you really want to amp up your income, you can, and there's a whole strategy where you can set up a corporation and the money goes into the corporation, and then you take 6 massive paychecks out of your corporation over 5 years. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff you can do. That's totally legal, and that can be done. So.
Well, that's very good to know.
Yeah.
Is that it, Dawn? Were you finished? I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, thank you for not interrupting, Kathy. That is.
Yeah, that's hard for me, don't you? That's why you say that. I see Ken has a comment in the chat box, but Ken, I know you're muted, but were your questions answered there just then between Dawn and Brian? You can chat and let us know. I think they pretty much answered that for you. Okay, yeah. Great, Ken. Okay, I want to say, first of all, to those that are new in here with us, that, like Dawn said, this definitely is a legit work-from-home business, and it does work. And I can say that because from the first month, I've gotten a check every month. I've not had a month I've not had a check. So the first month, I know I made a little over 100, and I got my check, and almost immediately after that, I doubled. I went to like 300 the next month, and it's growing. And whether you're looking to make just an additional 100 a month to supplement, whether it's disability you're on or just income that you have already, or if you're looking to make 300 or 400, if you're looking to make 700, you can do it. And I say that because I have done that. I want to tell you guys, my car was in the shop last week. That's never fun. I put that off as long as I could. And I had to get it in the shop. I thought it was just going to simply need a new muffler. It wasn't. I needed the whole catalytic converter exhaust system, and it was not cheap. And I'm going to tell you that my disability check was not going to help with that, with the other small issues that I had, just regular monthly bills. So my car payment, my car bill, came to $644 to get that fixed, and an oil change and state inspection. And luckily, I had made a check last month for a little over $700. And I was glad that I had that because that took care of my car. So, I mean, you're always going to have unexpected things come up. And it's great to have this extra money even to put aside if you don't need it immediately. But if you are somewhat of a people person and have some decent communication skills, and if you're a self-starter, you don't need someone holding your hand and looking over your shoulder when you do your work. I would say if you can follow directions fairly well, easy, simple directions, then I think this might be for you. You're going to have great support. Like Brian mentioned, we have our own Facebook page for the Referral Partner Program, so there's great support on there. And you need to be a team player because we do work individually, but we are a team, and we do support each other. So any questions that you would have or comments or new avenues you want to try, then, talk to us about it or try it out for yourself. And it's just good supplemental income. And Brian showed you there the back office. He provides that awesome back office for us free, no charge to us, where you can track your commissions and see what you're making, and you can see what's working for you, maybe what's not working so well, so you can adjust your plan. And I always say this too, but Brian already said it. If you can plan your work for the day or for the week, whatever, how many hours you want to try to do this, and then work that plan, it will work for you. There's almost no way that it won't. We all have our own individual ways that we feel successful doing it, but yet there are some ways that we have found to be really successful. So,
Kathy, can I interrupt you there?
Of course.
Yeah, I just want to say that, watching you work, you have set a really stellar example of how to do it. And what I've noticed in what you're doing is that you're being very helpful to people. You're not selling anything.
Right.
You're just there being helpful to people that are looking for ways of getting their SSDI.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you're there. You're a resource for them, and you help them. You actually hold them by the hand. You take them from wherever you find them. Let's say it's a Facebook group. You take them by the hand to the Disability Digest, and like you're providing that personal service to them. So I think that's a really a great example to follow for anyone who wants to get into it.
Thank you. Well, I know you and Dawn and Tammy and Brian have heard this before, but I had to quit working in 2010. I did it as long as I possibly could, and between the fibromyalgia and high blood pressure, heart issues, I knew it was time to quit. Unfortunately, I waited 3 years before I filed for disability. And folks, let me tell you, if you need disability, don't put it off. You need to do it sooner than I did. But I lost a lot of money by doing that. But I have a big caregiving background. I have been a caregiver many years off and on, and companion for hospice patients and elderly. And when I quit working, I really wasn't sure what to do with myself. And I found in a very short time, this must be what retirement feels like, and I don't think I like it as well as I thought I would. And I really felt like I had lost my purpose. Kids are grown and gone, what am I going to do? So when I started doing this, I found that this really filled that void that I had. And like Dawn said, I was helping other people too, and I totally enjoyed that. Now I have to back up and tell you, and I was one of those that Brian mentioned that got my disability very fast with Disability Digest last year. I applied first try and got it 3 months later, and I was in shock. And I immediately, just like if you see a good movie and you tell all your friends about it, I wanted people to hear about this group. So I started telling all my friends or anybody I knew that might need disability and sending them to Brian. And I knew nothing about any kind of a program like this. And then in April, early April, I think it was this year, Brian called me and he said, Kathy, first I want to congratulate you on getting your disability so quickly, and we hear that you're referring people to us, and I want to pay you for doing that. I'm like, really? Because I have been doing it anyway for a year, I'm sure. So it's like I say, you really need to have a goal to work and make income, but if you do have that caring passion to help people in that background, that's definitely going to come through too, and it really does for me. I love what I'm doing. I get up and I have a purpose to get my day started, not just stay in bed in pain all day with fibromyalgia. So if any of you are interested, I would encourage any of you, feel free to welcome or to add me as a friend on Facebook, Kathy Ero, and I can stay in touch with you. And I'm sure probably if any of you decide you want to try this, I'd be happy to help train you and work with you too. So, okay, Brian, I'm long-winded, but it's just I can't say enough about it. The program's working. I'm helping others. I'm helping myself, and I'm giving back by helping other people get disability as well. So they're out there, guys. They're out there looking for us. We just need to find them.
Right, right. And if I could just add to that, in a couple of previous meetings, I mentioned that whenever I'm in a coffee shop or wherever in some public place, I see people and I think, well, they're probably on the verge of wanting disability, or there's something that tells me that they could use that help. And I've often thought, I should have a little bit of paper, maybe a little pamphlet or even a business card prepared, just to give it to the person and say, so that they know that there's a place that they can get free help to get their disability. So as a result of that, in the coming days, I'm going to be getting a new set of business cards that I'll be able to hand out that will have that little message on the back, to get free help getting disability, go to this URL.
Right.
And that's just to be able to have something to help people, in a very quick way. And that when you're in some public place, that you can identify people that look like they need disability.
Yeah, I think month 1 or month 2, Dawn, I actually did have some business cards made up. I have one to help refer people to the Disability Digest or the Fibromyalgia Digest. Then I have another card that is to hand out to people that might be looking to work from home part-time.
Right.
And both of those cards, particularly the one for the disability, I actually, when I go to my doctor offices, or I'm going up to the hospital today to spend time with a friend that's in the hospital, I leave my cards laying around here and there on tables in the office. People are going to pick them up.
Right. That's
good point. Okay, Brian.
Thanks, Don.
Are you still there, Brian?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Don and Kathy, for your contribution. I just was speaking with my mom who stopped by, but I want to take questions from others that are out here, and before I unmute, I noticed that you can actually unmute. There's somebody that's logged in as owner. I don't know if you would be kind enough to identify yourself, because I did want to answer your question. I see that you're muted. So the question or the comment was, I was told by Social Security that your case would remain open in the case that you make way over the limit and would not have to reapply for benefits. So if there are some of you out there that may be going through the approval process and like you're not approved yet and you're considering becoming a referral partner, I want to speak to that, because I'm not sure if that's where this is going or not. And you can work and earn up to $1,090 a month and apply for disability. It's different than once you're on benefits. And working and getting approved for disability in a traditional job, in my experience with other representatives, has not been easy. Working as a referral partner with something that is not a job that you can do that's totally independent is something that we have allowed people to do and to apply for. And the reason is that you can do it a little bit at a time. I don't feel it's going to have, if you're earning, $200 or $300 a month, it's going to have a negative impact on your approval process. And this is an opportunity while you're going through the approval process to get set up, understand the process. Once you get approved, you can increase your income. So that's my 2 cents on that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unmute. And if you have a question, just state your first name.
Made it into a big ship with a sail for Lilianne's birthday party.
And I see that some of you, if you have background noise, if you would just kindly mute yourself so that we don't disturb the group. But if you have questions, we'd love to hear from you. Or, if we totally missed the mark and you think we're just really out there, all right, well, tell us that too.
I just have another quick comment I wanted to say, Brian. For any of you guys that are on Facebook, that's half the battle. You've already got a foot in the door. You're a step ahead. Most all this income I've made, even the $700 last month, I've done most all my work has been done on Facebook. So I want to tell you that that's an easy way to get started. And then a friend of mine and I are getting ready to start a local support group for fibromyalgia, so that's going to help too. But there's a lot of other ways. But Facebook is big if you're already on there.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Good. Thank you. And if you're muted, if your line is muted and you have questions, just type them in the chat box. But anything else? Any other questions? Love to hear from you. All right. Either we did a really, really good job.
Super. Or they just don't know what to ask. Sometimes it's just you don't really know what to ask yet. Yeah. Angie, I got your message. Thank you.
Okay. Cool. All right.
You're welcome.
Okay, owner Brian says it's Maria
Oh, okay. All right.
in the
Maria.
chat.
Good.
She's
All right.
asking for the slide information. Okay. Yeah, anybody else, feel free to message me, to friend me on Facebook. But whatever process you're in with this, like Brian said, they'll be following up with you for whatever step you're in. And I hope that we can hear from you guys. We'd love to see our group grow, our team, I guess I'd rather say, and love to be able to work with you guys. You will not work alone. You'll be working alone at home, but we will work with you and give you all the support you need.
Good. Good. Okay. Perfect. So let's just wrap up one more time. You're going to get an email with the replay. I have taken a roll call for those that are here, so thank you for your attendance with the next step. We'd like to hear back from you within a few short days so that we can get you involved as early as next week and going and starting to earn some money so you could get something in November and get paid in early December before Christmas. So that's the plan. So in closing, I want to thank you for placing your trust in us regardless of what happens, just to come out and invest some time to listen and learn about the referral partner program. We certainly appreciate that, and definitely appreciate you being members of the Disability Digest. So that means a lot to us. So thanks again, everybody. Make it a great day.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See
you,
you next
Brian.
week.